Now, let's talk to Sue. Sue's calling from Huntington Beach and listens on KKLA. Hi, Sue.
Hi, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
I am a brand new listener. I just stumbled upon your program a couple days ago, and I was just listening to a bit about tithing.
Yes.
And I have a question.
Okay.
I am caught between God and my husband.
All right.
I, in the past, have always tithed 10%.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a stay-home mom, and now that he's in charge of the finances, he will not allow me to tithe.
Okay.
And so I feel guilty. However, in my prayers to God, I say that my husband is the head of the household, and I'm supposed to honor him, but I still feel caught between God and my husband.
Okay.
So I guess emotionally, mentally, how do I deal with this?
Okay. I'll go.
Go.
All right. Well, first of all, one person is probably better at paying bills than the other. And let's say that that's him, okay?
Okay.
But that doesn't mean the person that pays the bills should be making all the financial decisions. That
Correct.
should be a joint venture, mutual submission. The Bible says to submit yourself one to another. So
Correct.
one thing that you could say is, I appreciate how you write the bills, but I want to have some kind of input into how we spend the money or disperse the money, and I would really like to tithe to the church. And when he says, no way, ask him this. Well, would you mind if I took 10% and invested it while I pray that you're going to change your heart? So that in 4 years, when you finally say, yes, we can thank God and we can show respect and tithe, you'll have all of that money. It will have earned interest, and you can give it in one big lump sum to the church.
Okay.
And a lot of times, guys that are
very creative,
are kind of not wanting you to give, a lot of times they're very receptive to you taking the money and investing it.
Right, because in the past, about 10 years ago, when I was in charge of bills, he allowed me to tithe, and I tried to show him the benefits that God provided and took care of us, and there was no stress financially within our marriage.
Yeah.
And then he got freaked out with the economy and said, no more tithing. And
okay, well,
won't let me give anything.
Okay, when we come back, I want to talk about a different issue, or I want Mylon and Sherry to talk about a different issue, and that is the depth of, or lack of depth of, connection in your marriage, and how this is kind of a reflection of the two of you not being in an intimate connection, being on the same page. We'll be back after this.
Now, back to the program.
We're talking with Sue, and it's one of those tough situations where he doesn't want his wife to tithe 10%, and sometimes the issue goes beyond the tithe. Mylon, you want to help Sue look at a bigger picture, maybe?
Well, Sue, Steve kind of tossed something out there. It was a bit controversial before the break. He said he didn't think there was an intimacy that the two of you needed to have. Do you have any clue what he was talking about?
He's absolutely 100%.
Now that's why he is the host of this show, new listener.
See, I got one right.
See, he got one right. You're the new listener, and that's why he's sitting in the driver's seat. Okay, now, having said that, your husband is freaked out. Now let's just take that for a second. And I think we got to ask the question, what do any of us do when we have a family member who freaks out over something?
Mm-hmm.
And what do we do with that? Sherry, what do you do with a freaked out person? How do we address a friend? How to be intimate with a person that's freaked out, traumatized about something?
No, I was hearing it because, Sue, I think I was maybe trying to hear it from your perspective, that, you're feeling fearful about your husband not tithing. He's feeling fearful about the economy. And your fear may be, what is God going to do if I don't tithe? It's like you're both kind of freaked out here. I don't think he's the only one that's freaked out in this picture.
But you have an opportunity to connect with him.
You do.
At the level of him being freaked out.
We're both a little scared here.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think it sounds like, is Steve is bang on with the intimacy, and you're both a little scared here. Have you guys talked about how scared you are? You know, I get that you really respect your husband for his leadership in your family and all, and you're kind of under his umbrella and then, you know, God's umbrella, but it's like it's scary to have somebody at the helm that you feel like maybe setting you something up for God to react in some way, some scary way.
Yeah.
Right, because he's just freaked out about everything. I mean, he's drawn away from the church. He doesn't want to talk about church. He won't pray at the table anymore. His interaction with the kids in the I mean, he is freaked out about everything.
All right. So now that is the topic of the table that needs to be on the table right there. What
Stop
do I do?
talking about the tithing for a while and start talking about
your fear, honey.
fear.
What's going on?
Yeah, I'm concerned about you. All of a sudden, it's not about the issue.
Yeah.
We take the issue, we take it off the table for a minute, and we go, whoa, I never realized how anxious, how upset, and how panicky you are. And then tell me more about your panic. Tell me.
Yeah, and that's how you can get into it, by saying, honey, I realized something.
Yes.
So that you've got an excuse to be taking a different approach. Honey, I realized.
Sometimes people who've grown up in a family background where there's been scarcity, there's not been a lot of resources, or the bottom has fallen out. When the economy does what it does, all of a sudden, all those past, history stuff comes right to the forefront, and we become really miserly, tight-fisted, non-giving people because we've lived without a lot. And my guess is that he's got that in his background for him to have this strong of a reaction.
I think so. All right, so here comes How We Love. I'll send it to you. It will help you to connect with him at a level of intimacy, and maybe the tithing issue will take care of itself.